Good evening, everyone. I'm Rufat, and it's great to see you all here. And today I'm going to, in upcoming 10 to 15 minutes, talk about my own experience, about traveling, about how did I start, like going to study abroad, and why did I come here. So now let's go to the next slide, and I want to start talking about, like, a really briefly, who am I? As I mentioned, my name is Rufat, and I'm from Azerbaijan. And I'm currently second year business administration student at the University of Tartu. And I'm ex-Erasmus in Spain. I just came in February. I did my one semester in Spain as an exchange student. I'm communication manager at PSN Tartu at the moment. I really love traveling a lot to different countries and explore new places. I love biking, and I'm a new YouTuber, young entrepreneur. How did it start actually? Basically, until 2007, I was like a really ordinary student going to just like school and basically having the normal ordinary life of the typical student, like pupil, and just going to school, like playing in the yard with my friends. And then in 2007, there was one organization named Aspare. I joined there. It's the biggest environmental program in my country. And I joined there, and basically my life totally changed after that moment. And what was it about? I just became a member of this environmental program, and we started like going to different parts of Azerbaijan in my country, and to different cities and regions, and we were basically making the awareness of environmental awareness to the students from different regions. Well, it's totally different from business administration, but I'm gonna get there. And then I did my first trip to Norway in 2008, and this is basically how I started my passion about the traveling, new places, and till now I have visited 24 countries. So the next, and this is like basically my pictures from there. And there, now it's the most like actual part basically. This is like the left part in 2011. My first time in Estonia, with one of these organizations again, we had like a trip to Finland, and we had a ship, like with the cruise, we just decided to come to Estonia and visit here. This is from Tallinn, and this is like my first interaction basically with the Estonia, how did it start. And when I was in the high school, I needed to choose the university where I need to study. And in the end, I had like 3 options from Finland, Hungary, and Estonia. And basically Estonia offered more better offers, so I decided to come to this cozy small town named Tartu, and this is from one of the events that I made a presentation about my country in Ratus Ecole in the school, and this is from Tartu. The next slide is going to be about my favorite part about Erasmus. I spent my 5 months in the southern part of Spain, named in Andalusia region, named as Huelva, and this was one of the best, and I would say the best experience that I had in my life till now. These 2 guys, Daniel and Dario, they were my flatmates, and we had a really good time with them, and we traveled a lot, and we joined to a lot of events, and it was really cool experience for me. And yeah, this is like one of the best times of my life I had like during this academic year. Of course, in Tartu it's another life, but in Spain it was totally different. Like Estonia is like my second home now, but I would say Spain as the third one. So the next one is going to be about pros and cons, and I would actually like to ask to you, if you have done exchange before. I know some of you are currently doing their Erasmus here. From Slovakia, there are some friends over here, and I would like to ask you guys, if you have ever done or you want to do any like study abroad exchange, what would be your advantage and disadvantage of doing exchange abroad? Just could you name one option? Like, what would be your advantage to do exchange abroad? Networking. What else?
Probably learning a new language.
Alright, nice. What else?
Make new friends.
Make new friends. Good one. What else from the back, guys?
Culture. Labor culture.
Yeah, true, for sure. What else?
Different point of view on all kinds of things.
Also, it could be an advantage. What can be a disadvantage? What can be like a main problem you can face when you're studying abroad? Homesickness. Yeah, good one. What else?
You're not in your comfort
That's also true. This is actually really important point, I would say. Well, thank you very much for your answers actually. When it comes to my answers, I had almost named the same things as you mentioned. Basically new experiences, I would say cultural differences. I'm gonna mention one interesting fact about Italians in this part. Like, I mean, there are a lot of stereotypes about different nations, right? And particularly about Italians, I want to mention one thing. Because one thing in Estonia, if you say that I'm gonna come to some event or some sort of gathering at 7 p.m., this means that you have to be sharply at 7:00 there. Like, there's no other point that you can be like 1-2 minutes late. Maybe it's possible, but it's not accepted well, as you guys mostly from here. But if you're like from this, you know, in Spain and Italy, they're a bit like, you know, don't care that much about these things. And if you say that let's meet at 7, they start at, okay, maybe I start like getting ready at 7, I leave home at 8, at 9 I will come to the event. So there's already like 2 hours difference already. I mean, I'm also from like one of the southern countries in Azerbaijan. We have the same thing, but yeah, I mean, this is like a basically cultural difference that I faced with in the beginning. Also, like, I had like some problems in the beginning in Spain with the language like barriers, because like there are a lot of people, almost no one speaks English there, and it was like one of the main like obstacles that I faced with. And like by the time I forced myself to learn and like listen a lot, and I kind of managed in the end to speak and get to know the basics basically. And then getting to know new places and people, you have a lot of chances to travel around. And as a con, as a disadvantage, I can also mention homesickness, also about the comfort zone. I think that's a really important point, because like when you're going out of your comfort zone, you're like facing a lot of new challenges, and this is one of the main things that makes you more mature and more experienced. Yeah, and when I came to Estonia, I actually started my YouTube channel. Well, I don't have that much subscribers, but still I'm quite new at this field. The thing is that I have been doing a lot of like vlogs and stuff like that. Even at some point I was teaching my language, and I started like doing some travel vlogs, what I was doing in Spain, or when I traveled to Italy or some different countries. Then one interesting thing, I made one survey in Tartu about what do Estonians know about Azerbaijan. And like there was a lot of answers like, okay, about Eurovision, I don't know, some people know from geography, basically not that much stuff, because we're really far from here. I mean, it's like thousands of kilometers from here, really far, and everybody, like mostly, one of the main questions Estonians are asking to us, like to the international students, what is your main reason coming to this small country? I mean, why Estonia? Like this is like the main question. So yeah, that would be, my answer would be like, because like I really liked this country when I came, and of course I still love it. It was really new challenges in the beginning, because you're like, as you mentioned about the comfort zone, like when you're going abroad for the first time, especially I come for the bachelor's, it was like really challenging for me, because new lifestyle, new people, new cultures, and you don't know anything, and you just like leave everything in your back home, like your family, your friends, and you just come to the new place, and you have no idea what's gonna happen to you and what kind of good or bad things you're gonna face with. And yeah, also from the language perspective, Estonian is really good that people can speak like English really well, also Russian, so it's really good at this part. My suggestions about what can be done. So let's go one by one. About going abroad. I don't know if you guys are planning to go abroad more, or if you have already done, but this is for my suggestion for if you want to go and study abroad. So use the help of friends who are already experienced. What I mean, like, of course there are a lot of friends that are surrounding you, and you can ask from them what is actually, like, for example, Erasmus or another like exchange program, because they already have experience. The next one is about be open for the new opportunities and use everything like what you have already in your hands. Like at the moment we're living in the 21st century, and there are a lot of opportunities that you can use from, like there are a lot of resources you can use from your like program managers in the university, especially in Estonia. It's really good, like, and there are a lot of this, you know, resources are available online. Like, the next one is going to be about joining student organization, like Isaac now is organizing this event, or ESN Erasmus Student Network, and there are a lot of this type of organizations. This is just like two main ones I know at the moment here. Apply international conferences. This is also another thing, as I mentioned before. And next one. And yeah, and one interesting thing is that my father was always telling to me that you have to listen to other people, but in the end, always make your own decisions. Like some people are saying that don't listen to other people. It's good to listen to other people, but in the end, it's always important to make your own decisions, because like the main thing is making the first step. You know, after doing your first step, then the next is coming. The next part is coming. That's the most important part, because people will always like tell you about stereotypes about, I don't know, about Spain or Estonia. You know, it's a Nordic country. Don't go there. It's cold there. I don't know. Don't go to Spain. People are lazy. You're going to Spain for partying, right? You don't study there, right? So that's like the main thing, which is like kind of discouraging you at some point, or just like making these barriers for this towards this country. And this is like the main problem, I think. So you can listen, but if you don't know the reality, I think that's a main problem. So just follow what you want. And yeah, make the first step, as I mentioned. Thank you very much for your listening. If you have any questions, I would love to answer.